Today I'm going to talk about Shimano XT 10-speed derailleur, and it took me a while to figure out how to adjust this derailleur because my derailleur wasn't shifting properly through the all speeds. It was always skipping one gear at one point, either here or in the middle, or two clicks and it still would stay here until I finally figured it out. And I see a lot of information on the basic derailleurs, this is my old one. You will see your cable will be coming through here, and you just, with this bolt, you just lock it in place, and then you just can adjust and create the tension. And where the problem with this one, you simply don't have that option. It just plugs inside and you pull the cable through and you put it to your position. And the trick was with this cable is where with these types of shifter derailleurs, you're trying to get as much as possible closer to the cog, and with this one is not as much close. And you see how my chain loops around, and I do have a space here, as you see. And with this one is always important to set this screw. What this screw does, and I have on this derailleur, is basically like very simple ones. You have the screw which is gonna touch the frame of the bike and kind of push it itself out of the frame or closer to the frame by adjusting the screw. And here it's just not in that position because there's two pivot points holding that. It's this one and this one right here. So by unscrewing this, first what I did is, let's start from a basic. I set it to my lowest cog, and I set my set screw for chain not to go towards the frame. And you see that right there, that this bolt, which is your high and doesn't have L or H, on a typical one that would be marked with the letters like this one right there. It says H and L. So this is for your high, and visually you'll see it's touching the frame of the derailleur, and when I looked, it lines up perfectly. So that's what I want it to be. Then what I did, I pulled the cable through and lock it into place. Here's my cable, and you see I don't really have a lot of tension here. It's not much of the tension. So the way I did it with the shifters right here, I created a little more tension than I was before. And I was also watching here, make sure once I create the tension, so my derailleur is not shifting. It stays in the position and just enough tension to keep it there. And once I did that, and once again, and before, I just don't want to touch it, and before with this screw, with that screw, this is the low and high screws on other screws, I was adjusting the angle, how close I want my derailleur be to the cog. And it always will be parallel no matter to which gear I shift. That's where I'm at, and I'm gonna show you right now. So for example, if I'm gonna shift one up, now it goes one up, and you see it's already shifted. And if I go, I'm gonna go all the way to the highest one, so you see no matter, it will automatically adjust itself to it. I mean, absolutely love how the derailleur operates right now, but before I thought how stupid it was because I couldn't figure out. So you see, the purpose of this, it always lines up vertically on the same angle, and the angle of attack of the chain and the sprockets always stays the same. So that's why it has a sufficient and crisp shifting as far as the derailleur. So once it's sets up, so first thing, make sure it's not too close to the cog, because so you have enough room for the chain to shift from underneath, because that's where it's shifting. When I'm let me show you. So when I'm shifting, this is what happens. You see, so I have enough space to shift from underneath so I can guide the chain to the new gear. So that was it. I hope it was helpful for someone. And reason for that video, I couldn't find any information, and took me almost 2 days and 2 rides to mess with it till I got it to work correctly. And it just always was shifting missing through one gear. It was upshift or downshift, and it felt like a 9-speed, and I was about to give up. I thought like my shifters right here, I thought it's a 9-speed shifter, XT, and everything, once it's adjusted, it is a 10-speed, and it's working properly. So number one, make sure the chain, it stays at correct angle, and this 2 screws is any derailleurs, it's high and low, to preventing from overshifting and dropping the chain, especially here next to the spokes. You definitely don't want to overshift and drop the chain, and especially on a ride. That's it.